What's happening, man? This dude already done started his mayhem, ladies and gentlemen. You're in the building. Life Gain Avengers of current coaches. Me, the living legend, Larry. My brother, how you feeling today after you went and bought 200 shares of Coinbase?
Oh man, I'm glad I did not. I am glad I did not buy. I'll tell you what, I was looking at the aftermarket trading. The last thing I saw on the ticker on CNBC said it was down to like 349 or something like that. So it's like it seemed like people may have got some they may have got in early and then started getting out because it started trading at 381. It ran up at one point to like 4, I forgot it was 4 something. It ran up to, and then it's down. I mean, at this point down, it's probably down almost $100 from its high. So
at the very least 50. It's down at the very least 50. So, like I said, man, for me, if you was going to get involved, you might as well just get a Bitcoin, a partial share of Bitcoin for that price. My goodness, man. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've got an action-packed show for you. We've actually got a sneak peek at what's going to happen to Tattletale Tanase tonight. We got a sneak peek. We're going to watch it before y'all go watch Snowfall. We've got the story about Will Smith and his homeboy Antoine Fuqua leaving Atlanta. Damn. And they should. Rightfully, they should. Yep.
Bruce's to the A until Georgia can get their act together.
Yeah, get it together, Georgia. And we've got a little bit more other news going on up in the piece. Fast and the Furious trailer. We've got that. So sit back, relax. We will have you out of here by 9:50 so you can get your popcorn made for Snowfall because we know tonight is going to be a doozy. So, Larry, we might as well start with Snowfall. Go ahead and give them a refresher of what's going to happen tonight, and then we can end on the other subject. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't want to see a portion of what's going to happen tonight, I would highly suggest that you turn away because the next thing you're going to see is 2 minutes of Tattletale Tanase getting told and shouts out to the homegirl Moochie. Here we go. Moochie.
I was out at the Red Onion for my birthday. I was having a good time, doing our thing when Drew comes in. I didn't remember him at first,
but he remembered you.
That you and me had our thing back in the day. Said y'all was cool now, partners. A few weeks later, he shows up at the shop. Figured he was trying to get some, you know. Turns out he had an offer for me.
Pay you to find my plug.
$100,000. He showed me the money. Life-changing shit.
And all you had to do was just slither up to me. Play me for a fucking fool. Like I never meant shit to you.
That was a long time ago.
What?
But since you went there, I remember I was real important to you until you got what you wanted. And then you was off to the next best thing.
I was a fucking kid, T.
And now you ain't. And neither am I. So I told Drew I'd do it. I went to your auntie's for New Year's and I saw you. And we talked. And I remember why I fell for you in the first place.
Oh, God.
I went home, called Drew, told him I was out.
It's a cute story.
Thank you.
But I don't see how it gets us to where we are right now.
Why you think? Because Drew wasn't having it. Turned that carrot to a stick, said he'd kill me and Julius. When I refused, he had a grip of Compton niggas jump my baby brother. Beat him half to death. He almost died. In the penitentiary all alone. Fuck was I supposed to do?
You were supposed to come to me! You were supposed to tell me the truth.
And if I had, I'm supposed to believe you would have forgave me? From what I hear, you ain't big on mercy these days.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Moochie, we gave you a shout out for that one, Moochie. That was a good fight. Larry, is he are they gonna take her out this episode, Larry? What you think? Do you feel like Franklin has it in his heart to forgive her?
I don't know. He might. I don't think she's gonna die. If she does die, I don't believe it's gonna be by Franklin's hand.
Okay.
I think it may be that man boy kills her, but I think I am personally thinking that Franklin's probably like what she says makes sense, and that's probably how it really went down. And even though he's angry and feeling played right now, I think that I don't think he's gonna kill her. He may try and use her,
and
to get at Man Boy or something, and then that may end up backfiring and getting her killed. But yeah, so I feel like I feel like Franklin needs to. I mean, he needs to stabilize. First of all, he needs to get his whole organization stabilized, but he really needs to get some soldiers underneath him, because you have people like the fact that Man Boy can have his dudes inside beat her brother half to death. Franklin should have people on the inside too that he's working with, so that stuff won't happen.
I mean, Larry, he's got the ultimate insider. He's got Teddy, and if Teddy can always pull a string and get somebody in jail to get clipped.
Yeah, but Teddy doesn't want to keep pulling those strings for stuff like that. He doesn't want to keep having to go and call someone to get a kid moved to a different jail or whatever else. Franklin should deal with some people that are dealing with guards. I mean, everybody knows that that the drug trade that runs inside prison runs because the guards either are in on it or they look the other way. And guards don't always make a lot of money. So I'm just saying, I mean, not at these private prisons. If they're in county, then then you're dealing with deputy sheriffs, and they make a good living, so it may not work for them. But he should have enough people that he's dealing with on the inside that he can provide some protection for people. If anything, he needs to have people on the inside that he can provide protection in case one of his own people goes inside. You don't want to have Unc or Leon or himself or anybody go inside, and then you're in there by yourself, with no protection. Yeah. You want to have a base set up. So
I think that he's going to spare Tanase. He's definitely going to use her, possibly to lure Man Boy into a trap where he's going to have Man Boy thinking he's giving up. She's got the information on the plug, right. And then when they lure Man Boy out in the open and alone, maybe that's when Tanase gets shot. Maybe this is when they take out Man Boy. But all I can say is, Larry, the review goes down tomorrow. We've only got 2 episodes left.
Oh, this season went fast.
It went fast. Look, I've noticed this, Larry. When we review shows, the seasons go by very fast. When we don't review shows, the season drag on forever. Hell, Shameless just went off this past Sunday, and it seems like that's been on since football started last year.
I know.
So
thinking of that was a really good episode, the last episode of Shameless.
I liked it, but I don't know how I feel about the way they let the daddy die. But I mean, I liked it though. And
what?
And then there are some holes I felt like they didn't plug up. To me, it seemed as if they just kind of say, you know what, we know this is the last season. Let's just throw some parts together and be done with it.
Well, I agree with you. I think that they, on both points about the whole thing with the father, but I kind of like the way that they took him out being very relevant to the time, where we're in the middle of COVID. There's this current pandemic. He's running around all the time, just doing whatever he wants to do. They even show in that episode that he didn't have a mask on, and someone screamed at him, "Put a effing mask on," and he just picks one up off the street. I remember that. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, it makes sense how he died, and but the fact that they didn't plug up all those holes, like we're not really sure if Veronica and Kev are leaving or not. All that stuff to me makes perfect sense, because if you decide that you want to do a Shameless movie, all those holes are wide open for you just to drive a script right on through.
Okay. Well, if that is the case, then yeah. But if this was the honest finale, I would have liked to see some of that stuff sewn up. But I mean, great series nonetheless. If y'all haven't seen it, check out Shameless. So now, Larry, I'm gonna hit you with a little bit of Will Smith, his partner that came together to make the movie Emancipation, It was filming in Atlanta. And guess what they decided to do, Larry? They said, hell no, with this suppressionist style voting bill, we leaving. Take a look at this, my people. I commend these brothers because, Larry, we need more of us powerful blacks doing these things, hitting people in the gut where it hurt the most. Because one thing that they will always listen to is that almighty dollar. Here we go. Larry, before I give it to you, Larry, let me shout out my folk, Buzz, man. I appreciate you, my homie. That 1406, man. Look. And my folk down there, William Lawrence, $4.99. Let me tell y'all this. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. As I always say, when you guys give me that type of support, you allow me to network with other YouTubers. You allow me to network with my subscribers. Matter of fact, shout out to Sharnithia, who I had a one-on-one session with yesterday to talk about trying to start a YouTube channel for her kids who want to get into gaming. So you guys, when you do these super chats, you allow me to kind of have a communion with my people. So I'm very thankful. Now, back to the matter at hand. I'm proud of these brothers for doing this because that bill is atrocious. Now, they mentioned to y'all the most outlandish. That law is crazy. They mentioned to y'all the most outlandish stuff. Like, for one reason, why can you not hand people out water? You handing out water is now a felony. I mean, that's dumb. But when you did drill down into the nuts and the bolts of the law, there's some really, really ugly stuff in there that is particularly catered to minority-based areas. For one thing, let me give you guys this perspective. The biggest African-American county, they only have 4 places, and this is a huge county. I think it's Fulton County. They only have 4 places you can drop off ballots. 4 in a county that has like some million people in it. 4 places. Yeah. But in a underpopulated white county, why the hell you got a county that had like 100,000 people in it? Why the hell you got 100 places to drop off stuff? Come on, man. You can't make this stuff up. And before I give it to you, Larry, let me say this. Tyler Perry, we need you to step up now. I know you just built that mega facility down there. But you know what, brother? You pull your guard from down there, and because you're like Atlanta homegrown, and show these bums you ain't playing, and you're gonna go rent a studio in Hollywood for a little while. Heads is gonna roll then too, and that might get more of us people, us African Americans, who for whatever the reason continue to think that we can't affect change, to wake up and realize if you can't affect change, why the hell are they trying to restrict you from voting so bad? Brother Larry, it's all yours.
Yeah, I want to say first I want to mention I saw a black bleach in the comment section that says I thought ATL was Black Hollywood. It is Black Hollywood, but Atlanta is in the state of Georgia. And so when you talk about, all the tax benefits that the state gets from a production happening in there, because when you start talking about the jobs that it creates, the taxes that it generates from those productions, that's all going to the state. And so, you may be in Atlanta and benefiting from all of the talent and everything, the resources from all the black folks in Atlanta, but the state of Georgia is the one that's also benefiting from all the resources you're bringing there, all the taxes, all the money you're spending, all the people you're hiring, all the food that you're buying and housing that you're providing during those productions. So you can't just simply, isolate Atlanta without also benefiting the larger state of Georgia. So you just have to go, you just have to go. I'm happy to see him leave. I'm glad they're gone. And I hope other productions follow suit. I hope that I hope Tyler Perry does something of the same effect. I hope maybe he picks up and moves his production somewhere else temporarily. I know he has his studio and he probably doesn't want to get up and leave because that's a lot of money that's going to be gone. But I hope people do. I hope people basically hurt Georgia so bad that they realize we just cannot do this. This law is not economically feasible for us. We need to repeal it. So
exactly. It's got to be repealed. It's got to be fixed. And other big money groups have spoken with their dollars. Coca-Cola, they've spoken. Delta, who is ran by one of the biggest Republican donors, the CEO, he said, you know what? This ain't good for my people. I got too many people that work for this airlines who are affected by this. He's dissenting. He's telling them to change the bill. Major League Baseball, everybody has said this thing is atrocious, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what they're doing? They're trying to pick on these people. The same people that line these pockets of these Republicans, they're telling them, Larry, to shut up and produce coke. Shut up and play baseball. Shut up and do this. Whatever you sell, shut up and do it. But guess what, Larry? Guess what Supreme Court gave corporations certain freedoms similar to that of a person.
Right.
Your Supreme Court. So no, they will not shut up. And if they're smart, they'll quit lining your damn pockets. Because if you take that away from Republicans, Larry, you're going to see the suicide rate with these Republican politicians go through the roof. They don't know how to act without that backing support.
Well, that's the interesting thing is that they were saying that, that Mitch McConnell and some of these other people have gotten on there and told these companies basically to shut up and to stay in their lane. Mm-hmm. And a number of these companies have already come out and said that they are suspending all donations to Republican candidates. And so, I mean, if you end up in a position where they're just basically like, we're not giving you anything. We're not going to pick and choose between which candidates get what's here. We're just going to go ahead and cut it all off. And then you can tell us to stay in our lane. Because if you're telling us to stay out of the political realm, well, part of the political realm is campaign donations. So we'll stay out. All right. We'll go ahead and stay out. And then you can see how difficult it is to fund your political campaigns on individual donations when you don't have the numbers that the Democrats have. So we'll see what happens with it. I really do hope that they just simply if people just simply cut the taps off altogether and say, nah, this doesn't work for us. We're not going to be seen as anti-American and anti-voter. You're going to have to fix this problem, whether it be the state of Georgia, fixes it, or if the Supreme Court strikes it down. I mean, and let's be real. This is just the first one. Because there's I think they said that there's bills introduced in 30 something states where they are trying to get this similar legislation passed. And I'm not sure what the numbers are right now, but at one point, not long ago, there were 35 Republican governors in the 50 states. Now, mind you, they are smaller states, but I mean, they still control a lot of votes. And when you have the electoral college, that matters. If we were just talking about a straight up popular vote count, maybe it wouldn't be such a big deal because Democrats control most of the major population centers in this country on the state level and the local level. But besides Texas, being a big one, other than that, most of the other states are Republican states, and they're small, and they don't have nearly the population that the Democratic states have, but they do have electoral votes, and that's the way our system's designed. I'm not gonna cry about it, but we just need to make sure that our voters are protected regardless of what state they're in and regardless of what their political persuasion is. I'm not trying to prevent Republicans from voting. I think Republicans should be able to vote too, regardless of whether or not they're black or white or Asian or Hispanic or yellow, green, purple, black, white, gay, straight, whatever. They should be able to vote. And I want that same thing to be, I want that same respect across the board. I don't care if you think you're going to lose or if you're going to win. Win and lose on your ideas, not on voter suppression.
Mike Willie, I appreciate that. $9.99, my brother. I'm grateful. And I'm out here doing everything I can to help folks out, and you give me opportunity to do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to move on to another trailer that came out today.
Hold on a minute, man. I just want to point this out because Black Bleach is in there saying we're the only ones who beg entertainers for change while they lullaby us back to sleep. This is one of those things where I think that you might want to get this super chat before I continue because I'm going to talk to this middle brother for a minute.
Wow. Sweet November 79. Haven't made it in live in a while. I wanted to show some love. Sweet November. That is a whole lot of love. You know what I'm talking about? That's February 14th type of love, and I'm very grateful.
I like that.
Again, those contributions allow me to do more networking with my subscribers. Like I said, I had a subscriber in here one-on-one yesterday named Sharnitha. I'm grateful. I appreciate you, and come check us out some more. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, I like Sweet November. I like that. I like her glamour shot too, looking all nice and nice and put together and whatnot. But Black Bleach, I just want to say, bro, that as far as us begging entertainers for change and all this stuff, let's not forget that entertainers are people too. They are American citizens. They have the right to vote. They have the right to lobby. They are affected by policies and laws just like we are. And despite what often people think about them being just a bunch of dummies, most of them are actually very educated people with higher levels of education than a lot of us have. And so, beyond just that, white people do the same thing. If you go and you look at what white people are doing, what Republicans are doing for fundraising and white folks are doing for fundraising, they call on their celebrities, they call on their singers, they call on their actors and everything else to come out, to get their base excited, to bring people out so that they want to give more, so that they want to show up at a rally, so that they want to go and have if they are hosting a fundraising dinner, if the Republicans say, oh, well, Kid Rock or some other, far right person is going to be there, you're more likely to get people that are interested in that sort of celebrity to show up so they can rub shoulders with them. It's the same thing with the Democrats. If we'll call on maybe Will Smith or Bruce Springsteen or whoever else, people want to come out and meet them and shake their hands, and they're willing to come out and pay $1,000, $2,000 at a dinner so that they can eat some rubber chicken and shake the hand and have 5 minutes talking to one of their favorite celebrities. People do it all the time, and they do it on a small level like that, and they do it on a broader level when you have people doing commercials and stuff. It's not just us, and don't think that it's. And when you say we're the only ones doing it out there, it makes us feel like we're being less than when we're not. It's not even it's not even calling upon those in our own community that are financially and financially successful and influential is not a bad thing. That's what we are supposed to do. That is, they are not only is that is not what we're, not only should we do that, they should lend us their influence. That's one of the reasons why we choose to have certain people as celebrities in our society. Because when other people do terrible things, we ostracize them. We say we're not going to buy your records anymore or watch your movies anymore. We're not going to support you anymore when they do terrible things. That's why we find people that we like and we support and we elevate them. And so they should lend us their influence when it comes time. So it's not a bad thing that we call upon them. We should, and they should answer the call when asked.
Kobe Vision, brother, you just got to the channel. You already super chatting. I appreciate that, my homie. Again, every super chat allows me to bring in subscribers, bring in friends, bring in other YouTubers. And ladies and gentlemen, check out my man Kobe Vision. Subscribe to his channel. He's doing big things as well. Has great opinions. Some that might make you feel good, some that might make you cry. But in any event, he's got great content. Here we go, Larry. There was another trailer that dropped this week. It dropped today, actually. And we're going to take a look at it. Fast and the Furious 9. They still making movies about fast cars, and we still watching it. Here we go, Larry.
I'm all the way in, man. I'm all the way in. You have John Cena up there looking like he took the super soldier serum, and you have Helen Mirren in there. How can I not be into that one? Come on, man.
Nah, hell no.
That looks fantastic. Not only does it look fantastic, it looks fantastical.
The mere fact that John Cena is your adversary makes it trash.
Oh, man.
Makes it trash. I'm not watching. I will not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Watch it. We're going to review it.
No, we're not. You're gonna review it. I'm gonna sit here and listen to what you had to say, and then I'm gonna bash John Cena some more. Because until he does something that is a breakthrough for me, I can't take him serious when I see him in a movie, and I definitely can't take him serious when he's supposed to be in a high-profile franchise like the Fast and the Furious, and he's the main adversary. Man, nah, hell no. Nope.
Oh man.
Nope.
I wonder what they're gonna do for the next one. Next one, because this next one's gonna be 10. They're gonna have to call it like FFX or something like that. It's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my god. Why should they even make a 10?
Because they did, man. I'm watching. They could have a Fast and Furious 48. I'm gonna be there for that one too. You know?
Okay. No.
They could just keep on making them. They could come out twice a year. I'd watch them.
You get rid of John Cena, you might would have had me, but I just can't. I can't do it with John Cena, bro.
They have to replace the big buffed out dude because The Rock is gone. The Rock is back. Is now in DC, the DCEU. So he didn't have time.
Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad that's over with. I'm glad Larry's happy because I ain't. Here we go.
It looks awesome.
So, Larry, when you was a young man, did you watch The Wonder Years?
A little bit with Winnie.
Hell, I don't know. I ain't watch it. I just know it's an 80s classic. Well, guess what? It's being remade by Lee Daniels, and it's going to have a black crew. Take a look at this.
Empire creator Lee Daniels is coming back to TV in a big way.
I hear you are rebooting the Wonder Years with a black cast.
Yes, we've just started casting, and I'm really excited about it.
And he's bringing the 80s classic back with an original cast member.
I'm just producing it, but oh man, Britt Savage is directing it. I want to do it justice.
So, Larry, let me show you the family. This is the family. This is going to be the family for the reboot. Because, like I said, I never watched the original. Do you think this can be pulled off? And do you think that there was a band of Anglo-Saxons that was screaming Bloody Mary?
So?
And they don't want to see a black crew.
And?
Are you okay with them putting on a black Wonder Years story?
I mean, they've been jacking our black stories forever. I mean, let's think about some of the black stories that they jacked from us. Like, how about the story of Jesus Christ? How about Cleopatra? You know, and I mean, they've been jacking black stories for probably 2 centuries, longer, thousands of years since the beginning. Whenever they start telling their stories, they start jacking our stories. So yeah, I don't have a problem with it, not at all.
Okay,
I mean, and let's be real, it's not like the Wonder Years is a white story. The Wonder Years is a story about family, and family doesn't necessarily denote a particular race. You know, it's sort of like if you remade Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. I mean, who cares if you change the family from white to Hispanic or something, or if you make I Love Lucy and instead of having a white woman and a Hispanic husband, maybe you have an Asian husband and a Hispanic wife or something. I mean, who knows? It doesn't. I mean, because the stories are not racial or ethnically specific. They're about the characters and they're about family. Now, there are some stories that are specific to race, and then you shouldn't mess with those. I'm not going to go say that you should remake like you should remake Braveheart.
Now, how would you feel if they remade the Cosby Show and made them white?
I would probably feel some sort of way because the Cosby Show is so iconic, and race was a very specific part of that show. Okay. That show was about a family, but because of the time and because there had been nothing like that really before, race was a very vital component of that show. So I might feel some sort of way, you know? Mm-hmm. But like there are certain, I was going to say, I don't think that someone should go and remake, Braveheart and try and turn, and try and turn William Wallace into, a black dude or an Asian dude or something. I don't think they should do that. I think there's certain respect that should be given to certain stories, and other ones you can flip them. It's just like when you start making, characters that may be traditionally male, and you make it a female character. We're seeing that in the MCU. Like right now, we see Carly. Carly wasn't a woman in the comics. No one's. I don't hear. I mean, maybe there's some bottom of the basement, haters out there. But I, for the most part, I think most people up there are just enjoying the show, and the fact that Carly is a female doesn't bother anybody. And in fact, unless you know the comics, it doesn't even occur to you that it was a man ever in the story. So
this is what they're saying the story about. The plot of the show will revolve around Dean Williams as a young boy growing up at the tail end of the civil rights movement in the South, and at the beginning of the Black Power movement that defined the early 70s. It's 1968 in Montgomery, Alabama, and Dean is trying to figure out his place within this Black family and the world at large, states the site. Though a little insecure, a tad awkward, and a bit self-conscious, he is determined to make his mark on the world and the world around him. Sound good to me.
It does sound good to me.
It sounds like he's actually going to be doing way better than what he did on the tail end of his other show that starred Terrence Howard. And I won't say no names because some of y'all get offended when I pick on that show. But I mean,
talking about Empire?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I stopped watching that show, I think, after the second season or something. It just jumped the shark for me.
Okay.
No.
Okay, well,
but I mean, I see a couple people in the comments saying that they don't think that, they'd be pissed if they messed with the Cosby Show, or, saying that these remakes are trash and whatnot. But, my thing is that I hope we get to a time in our country and in our society where, one, we don't really need to have characters that are racially specific. I hope we get to a place where we can all be so equal that it doesn't matter if one character is white or black, or it does. Like, for instance, it would be great if we had a character like, I mean, obviously Black Panther is Black Panther for a reason, but it would be great if we had a character that maybe was a superhero, and then the person who was playing that role decided they didn't want to be it anymore, so they hire someone else, and the new person's a completely different race or a completely different gender, and it doesn't matter because we all are so accepting that we can actually see that character as that new person. So,
well, since Larry wants to bring up the true and rightful king of Wakanda, T'Challa, the Black Panther, Netflix. Now, Larry, this is what I want to ask you.
Let that slide for the moment.
We talked about when Chadwick died that at some point in time, people was going to capitalize on it. We said Marvel was going to do it. We didn't really have a problem as long as they did it tastefully. So my question to you on this next story is going to be, do you feel like Netflix is capitalizing on Chadwick? And if so, are you comfortable with it? So Netflix is getting ready to do a full-fledged portrait of Chadwick Boseman. And here's a quick look. Man, Larry, I'm sold on that. I'm sold. How you feeling about it?
I'll be honest, man. It felt real sad, man. I'm just kind of like, I mean, all these tribute pieces I see, they're nice and all, but it's just so sad, man. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I want a celebration and not a memorial.
Well, I feel like that's what they're doing. And I think the celebration parts of it was when you heard the man's voice, you heard his passion for his craft. You hear everybody highlighting how much passion that they had for him and the passion he created. That's celebratory, my brother. Just because they play that melancholy music in the background don't mean that you can't get, inspiration from everybody else's exuberance over the way this man carried himself.
I agree that it can be a celebration, but the music that they played sets the tone for more of a memorial type feel. It just, I don't know. I mean, I I would be more interested in learning. I'll be honest with you. I would like and maybe this would turn out to be more of just a pure documentary on it or something. I just have to see it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I see this and I feel it, and I think to myself, my God, this is just so sad and depressing. I don't want it anymore. It's just like you can only take so much. I mean, you keep hearing. I mean, I know this may sound bad, but it's like we're constantly bombarded with this sadness from Black folks, and it's just like it's 1 minute it's somebody on, we're engrossed in a big ass trial for a Black dude that was murdered in the streets, and then during the trial somebody else gets murdered in the same area, and then when they're protesting for that, someone else gets murdered from the same area, and then we're getting hit with more memorials. It's a constant barrage of sadness and depression. It's like only so much can only take so much, man. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. I might not. I'll be honest with you.
I'm watching it. I will definitely be reviewing that one. Shouts out to Carbro. $10, my brother. I appreciate it.
I think Carbro's a woman, actually.
I'm sorry, Carbro. I thought the fact that you called yourself bro meant that you was actually a bro and not a sis. So, sis, thank you. I appreciate it. You allow me to network.
Sis as in sister, not cisgender, right? We have to be careful now. There's a whole lot out there. We have to be careful.
Either way, I appreciate it. And Larry, that's going to do it. That's the fastest we've knocked out a show on the night before Snowfall, so that we can all get our popcorn ready, get our juices ready, get our stories ready, get our Moochie, go get your notebook. Go get your notebook, Moochie. Take good notes. And I want to say that we're going to have on the final review that we do for Snowfall next week, we're going to have 2 special guests.
Is that it? We'll have 2 more?
It's tonight and next week, and that's it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. We're going to have a special guest from another channel that are going to be joining me, Moochie, and Nita. And, we're going to represent them the same way we represent everybody else who comes and breaks bread with us and talks to us. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for next week, but get ready for tomorrow, too. We're going to bring the fire.
Nita, where am I?
This is partly your show. So, come on, man. Like,
I'm messing with you. I did want to tell people that if you have Netflix and you get a chance, check out a show called The Irregulars. It is really, really fantastic. It is it's set in sort of like the verge of the Industrial Revolution in London, and around like what they're doing the Sherlock Holmes days, and it's just a lot of fun. And yeah, check it out. It's definitely it's got some supernatural stuff going on, and a lot of fanciful sort of just grimy street stuff, but it's a great show. But it's called The Irregulars, and it's on Netflix, so check it out if you get a shot.
Cool. Check that out. Get ready for Snowfall. Till that next Sex is Hell video, which will be tomorrow. We'll see you.
Peace.